6,985 pounds. This is the Grey Wolf 29TE here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. I have always referred to it as the Tedward Edward, but I believe that stands for triple entry bathroom. This is really an interesting foil and offset, like a negative evil twin to the... A negative evil twin? Would that just be a good twin? Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's an evil twin to the 29BH Grey Wolf, which has a private rear bunkhouse with 3 bunks and a full-size outside kitchen. Well, this kind of has the same thing going on, but what they did is they said, what if we move the bathroom up toward mom and dad, and then we improve the living room layout to really match that of something like a 26DBH Cherokee. So it's got a little better living arrangement. I think a lot of people are going to feel it has a better bathroom. It does have to be a little longer and a little heavier to accomplish that, but when you look at what you get for it, I think most folks are going to be very happy with what they see. So as you come in the back door, at first glance you look through and say, oh yeah, no, we can get through all the kitchen and stuff, and you know, I can pack up the pantry and the refrigerator, and I can stop and make a sandwich, but oh, wait a minute, how do we get up to the bedroom and bathroom? And that is where the TE portion of the Tedward Edward comes into play. Triple entry. This has a triple entry, like super bathroom, basically. You've got one door where I'm standing, door number 2 there, door number 3 here. So if you need to get to the bathroom or the bedroom, whether you're packing up the camper or in transit, well, Mr. 29TE can get you done. Now, before we get going too far along, there's one major item I want to point out, and that is the fact that the one I'm looking at and you're looking at in this video very likely does not match the camper that we have in stock perfectly. Case in point, this is the standard bunkhouse arrangement, and this is by intention. It's not that they forgot to build the walls on it. They were trying to do something different. They wanted to make the bunk room look big and open, or the living room rather. Well, not everyone is super cool with that. Some people really like the convenience of a door and a privacy bunk wall. This floor plan can be built that way, and that's actually normally how we will stock this model, is with a full privacy wall. So the natural question begs, why am I looking at open bunks here? 1, some people like the feeling. 2, though, is this model is so popular, we ran out. And we called down to Cherokee and said, you know, we prefer them with the privacy wall, and we submitted some orders with the privacy wall, but in the meantime, if anything comes up, if anything pops open, you let us know. And another dealer backed out on one, and we said, no matter how it is, we'll take it, because it's a popular model and we need it for folks. So remember, guys, this is how it can be built. This is not necessarily how it is built on our lot. That's why we take individual picture sets for every single unit we bring into our inventory on our main website. So this video is not necessarily representative of the current active inventory. So now that we've covered that, let's get all the good things. Here's a nice factor for a lot of foot traffic family camper. No vents in the floor. Grey Wolves use cabinet ducted heating, which means there are no vents in this floor to collect dirt, debris, skittles, paper clips, etc. Another thing this thing has going on here is a surprisingly good kitchen. This is something a couple years ago the Cherokee family of campers, which includes this Grey Wolf, started doing. They started making bigger, wider pantries that were easier to get into and offered probably at least double the storage of a normal, what I call toothpick pantry, you usually find in this business, where the pantry door is really thin and you have to go like up to your armpit to get to the stuff in the back, if that's you know, what you're looking for. And you'll find we just have a normal door here, just like you have for the bedroom and bathroom. It's a just normal true pantry. Now as we come over here into the more kitchen proper area, the overhead lighting in the kitchen, you can see that they add tons of it. So they've got 2 lights up top, 2 lights below the cabinet, and then 2 more lights under the stovetop hood, and that's something I don't even see luxury fifth wheels do with regularity. They are putting tons of lights in this kitchen so that you can really see what you're doing over here. And the newly updated interior decor, where everything's a little bit lighter and brighter, it reflects so much more of that light around. It really makes this thing look nice and big. Now, just below the kitchen breeze window, we have pressed membrane countertops. Now, between the flush mount sink cover and the tempered glass stove cover here, we actually get some really nice countertop prep space. But what's cool, once again in a more like modern touch, if we take a look, we've got this beautiful skirted stainless sink right here. And it's more of a farm style sink with that giant sink basin, so you can get big stuff in there for easier cleaning. Below that, we have plenty of room for things like a big wastebasket. And in the kitchen, we have a pair of extra large plywood box drawers as opposed to 2 or 3 small ones, which can often get kind of jammed up, you know, with spatulas and big forks and stuff. Now, over in the dinette, you see we have these huge 40-inch drawers right here. And what's kind of cool about these guys is they give you full access to the side bench storage of the dinette. If someone's sitting there, sleeping there, or frankly, even if no one is there, it just makes it easier to get into all that. Now, whether you have a privacy bunk wall or not, one of the benefits of this floor plan is some good guest sleeping here in the Super Slide. Really, the biggest chunk of it's going to be here in this roughly 7 foot by 42 inch-ish, something like that, U-dinette. So this is a full-size, extra-large U-dinette that if you need to sleep an adult, you can. And that's what's kind of cool about this. If you're not just sleeping littles, maybe sometimes you have your adult children and then their grandchildren, well, your grandchildren, their kids come with you. You can really kind of buckle down everything here and really fold everything down to maximize your sleeping capacity. And I think, if I'm being fair, I think you can sleep 8 in this one. I don't count that a 2-sleeper. I don't count the sofa a 2-sleeper. I guess if you're going to get cute, like, the manufacturers always like to overstate their sleeping capacities, I feel. I'm not going to do that. Now, below this, whether you have the privacy wall or not, again, we've talked about that, is the outside kitchen. Well, they could have left it with single bunks like this. But what they decided to do is make this one what I call Big Kid Bunk. What's neat about that is you get all this extra storage space below it. And that is worth its weight in gold. It also allows them to include a built-in bunk ladder so you don't need to heave your kids into that upper bed. Now, the extra chunk of storage in the back will always be there regardless. Another thing I like is that you have windows all over up here for lots of light and visibility for the kids, and there are TV hookups, power outlets, and USB plugs there. All their little devices can be charging over here on a rainy day. Now, above the Super Slide, we have this LED accent light, but it really kind of functions at night as something of a night light, because if you notice, it's like an air traffic control light, leading the kiddos right up to the bathroom if they need to use that at night. Also, the little backlit stovetop knobs over here, they kind of help the kids get an extra point of bearings so they, they're not banging off and bouncing off of stuff. And I've got the shades drawn here just to kind of show you the privacy that you can have in this one. Now, a quick note too, like I've got this in open daytime mode in the bunkhouse now, so mostly, so that you can see the bunks, but there is a full privacy curtain you can use to close off this rear area. So if you are looking to close that off to get that privacy for sleeping, you do still have that ability even with the open bunk concept like we're looking at here in this one today. Now, another thing I think that this one does better than its sister, I guess you could say, that evil twin, the 29BH Grey Wolf, is the entertainment setup. We have this cinema-style folding sofa right here with that little fold-down armrest. I'm telling you guys, it sounds silly, but those little cup holders, those are useful. Because one of the things a lot of campers don't do well when you're at the sofa, there's nowhere to sit down and drink. Now, those little armrests you may notice that I kind of floated around in sleeper mode, those are totally removable little side bolsters. You can get rid of them if you don't want them. But you're right next to this like full wall entertainment center right here. So you have easier viewing of the entertainment should you choose to add a TV to this floor plan. Now that isn't actually like a like one of those faux brick things. It's actually just an extremely high def wall print here. And when you get up right beside it, you sort of look at it and go, oh wow. But it gives you that good look without the hard to clean nature of those foam bricky style wall things. Over here, this is where another one of the key areas this one differs from the 29BH, and that is this triple entry bathroom, the TE bath. And you've got a deadbolting door from the exterior, so it's not like privacy will ever be an issue there. We have a bigger Maxxair Vent Fan here for superior airflow that can help recycle some of the air even in the living room. It's so powerful. A larger radius shower with skylight and full floor-to-ceiling surround protective paneling. You can see popping up just over the brim there. So, you know, you don't have I mean, you really have to go out of your way to screw up to water damage your walls in here. We do have a foot flush stool. We have excellent leg room and foot room in here. But we also have the same type of sealed edge countertops that you'll find in both the kitchen and the dining table. I didn't mention them out there, but all of the countertops in this are, well, tip-top. And a larger sink, actually fit for adult hands, as well as a big medicine cabinet. But what's cool, again, is most bunkhouses require mom and dad at night to walk halfway across the camper to get to the bathroom. This one does the opposite. This one brings the bathroom to mom and dad, or grandpa and grandma, or whoever. The people, the occupants of the front master bedroom, we'll say that. So it's easier access. Great for you if you get up and down at night quite a bit. And you have your full-length hanging closets with no sharp corners to jab you in the arm. Big viewing window on the door side. And notice that you have USB outlets on both sides of the master bed, both the door side and camp side here. So whether it's CPAPs or phone chargers or whatever, this is a extremely easy, comfortable family camping floor plan. Now the backlight from the sun this morning is not doing us any favors, but even so, I still think this kind of platinum and graphite with just a really deep navy blue accent, I personally feel it looks better than the brown, and red generation from last year. I didn't mind the red stripe generation, but I do think this looks better. And what's great is they've kind of slightly touched up their equipment package while doing a large-scale inside-outside facelift revision on it. But everything that made the 29 TE popular, still here. You know, it's kind of like when you see your favorite brand of soda, or pop as we call it often here in Michigan or most of the Midwest. Brand new look, same great taste. So we've still got the big front storage compartment here. It does go under the bed. We still have a simple side mount solar prep plug if you feel like getting a little portable panel. Sometimes you get the chance to park the camper in the shade and chase the panels, chase the sun with the panels, as it were. The front nose on this is an extra thick painted aluminum set of panels. And what that does is it improves headwind resistance. It's going to be more buckling resistant and just more weather resistant in general. Effectively, the entire nose is kind of like diamond plate because all of this aluminum skin on the nose is thicker than that on the sidewalls. You don't need as thick of skin on the sidewalls because it doesn't tend to get the flings and dings that the front nose does. Power awning, power jack, those things are still around for easy setting and braking camp. But one of the cool things here is you can see that the chassis is fully integrated with the A-frame. It's a custom engineered chassis, and what that allows the Grey Wolf campers to do is it's the reason that this has a double step and not a triple. It doesn't need a triple step because it doesn't set as high. Even though the body of this, the interior and the physical size of this camper is the same as its sister, the Cherokee, this one rides lower to the ground due to that different chassis. So it's got a lower overhead clearance, it's got a lower center of towing gravity. Grey Wolves are very good for towing and going in that regard. We do have a full outside utility shower up front here, hosing off the kiddos or cleaning some fish or whatever, and we do like to enclose the holding tanks of our Grey Wolf and Cherokee products just to give them that extra protection where you want and need it. Now I've got the shades drawn for privacy now, also helps block out the sun, but you see you've got the biggest windows they possibly could put in this, they did to give you maximum light and airflow. Now back here under the bunk areas, you'll notice there's that rear baggage door at the bottom. That actually is some little bonus storage that goes under the bunks, and there's no such thing as too much storage in a camper. I've never had anyone ever trade in a camper because dang it, I couldn't keep my cabinets full. But this compartment back here is great for things like the kids stuff, or you can use it for like your hookup type stuff, your totes for your hoses. And please keep your fresh and your sewer hoses separate, guys. I talk about that all the time. I still see people come in and doing that. Please stop. 200-pound rated cargo rack that doubles as a spare tire carrier, and thankfully you do not need to remove the spare tire to fold that down. Just makes life simple and easy. Very handy for things like extra coolers or the kids' bikes. It's nice to be able to bring the kids' bikes without having to do something wonky with a bike rack that could potentially jeopardize your RV warranty. One more thing, we are ready for backup or observation cameras. By kind of shifting things around a little bit, and really it's a result of moving the bathroom up front near that master bedroom, you've actually got a pretty awesome patio space on this one, because you've got a full-size outside kitchen, as you can see, and it butts right up next to that power awning. So really, when you're coming in and out of your main door there, you've got like exceptional patio awning coverage. Again, starting over here with the full-size outside kitchen, and this is an impressive, they call it the outdoor bar and grill. But so on the left here, the giant in the room is a 5.6 cubic foot fridge and freezer, and that nearly doubles the total cold storage capacity of this camper. Now, the little bit of cabinet space we have out here, very handy, but it's really things like the ice maker and the real sink with a real drain that does go into a holding tank as opposed to the dog dish that I think kind of seal the deal on this one. But it doesn't stop there. As we look down, you see that you have the weather-resistant galvanized rolled steel countertops under both that stovetop, around the sink, as well as the drawer. So the areas out here that would be most likely exposed to any sort of water, humidity, moisture, they're made with a better weather-resistant material. Because again, this is what I like to call high-class conventional. It is a wood skeleton trailer, but it's an extremely highly equipped wood skeleton trailer. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you don't need the weight savings of an ultralight, you can get more trailer, more equipment per dollar here as opposed to per pound. That's really how this style of construction and that style of construction will differ. You can get more trailer per pound over there, but more trailer per dollar over here. So this is a value purchase. The More Ride stable steps, they've become such a huge customer, almost mandated feature in the business that more and more brands are picking up various versions of the stable steps. Pardon me. The adjustable feet pegs that we have down here, they can marry up to just about any campsite. It's one of the various packages on these. You have the larger folding handle and the deadbolting, anti-slam door. What I meant by deadbolting was the bathroom door that we'll see in a minute. But notice that there's no holdback hardware on the door here. You don't need it, because the door holds itself, just like it's doing right there. You really have to fling the sucker. Now, outside, under this awning, at night, all these little LED elements really glow very nicely, just like the sleeping quarters that we saw in the Super Slide inside. But you might notice that we have matching lights behind the speakers back here, especially if I get close. So at night, you're going to get a nice little glow coming off your speakers as well. And note that your speakers are down low instead of up high, so you're not blowing away the neighbors, because they certainly never seem to like your music. I've never once been in a campground where the guy next to me is like, "Turn it up, brother!" Anyway. Outside TV hookups that match the inside TV hookups. So if you are so inclined as to swing a screen around from inside to outside, you got a handy little quick release mount where one TV, if you choose to add one, could bounce, between basically any area of the camper. Now, it seems really odd to people that the black tank flush of the camper is over here on the door side, on the camping side. There's a very good reason for it, though. Remember that this is where your bathroom is located, right inside that door, as we saw earlier. Well, this is also the most direct route to reach your black tank. So this is the most effective place to mount your black tank. They could put it in a pretty location, but sometimes, guys, pretty and effective are not the same things. And at the end of the day, it does have to be effective, and we would like it to be pretty. Kind of the difference between needs, wants, and desires, There's Mr. Jody doing a little surface quality check in here. Before RVs are even, allowed off the RV delivery truck, we go through and perform a surface inspection on them to make sure everything's up to snuff. Then we'll pull them in the shop, do a full burn. Then, before you take it home, we'll pull it back into the shop and do a full burn on everything again. We do everything we reasonably can to make sure these things are in working order, proper working order, with no surprises when you get home. Because frankly, guys, you don't want to make that call any more than we want to take that call. Although we will. It's not a phone call that we'll duck. We'll take care of it. We'll get you back on the road as quickly and painlessly as possible. That's just what we do here at Haylett RV as a service-based dealership. So, whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, except for hidden dealer fees, because those we don't do, then, ladies and gentlemen, you may have found your dealership. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.